Mate, your PS5's in the air. Jesus Christ.
I hope it will be a bit more silent later. Let me quickly check YouTube. And
I did get a notification, so I think the stream is up.
Let me quickly check YouTube. Okay, perfect. This time it will work. So, good evening, welcome everyone. Round 6 of GTRC WTCC upcoming. Beautiful Lago Maggiore in Italy. And we're looking forward to a brilliant title fight. Currently Rum Sereo is leading just 1 point ahead of Jake Witchell, and also Kubinski's good results added him to the title fight. I think he's only a few points down. First thing we see on track is John O'Mill spinning. Team Kubinski currently the only guys on track.
And the lag doesn't seem too bad this week, so...
Currently it's because people joining the track, joining the lobby. We're gonna see how it works. Usually my lobbies are okay, but sometimes when I stream the races they can cause lags.
I mean, if there's lag, then, you know, we can always swap over the
yeah, we'll see.
stream to me next week. Or
what happened last week in Catalonia was maybe also a Gran Turismo server issue, because we never had it that bad in the season.
No. It was because they had the update come out the Thursday, wasn't it? So they might have been doing something for that. I don't know.
Yes, we're gonna see. Gonna hope for the best. Again, looking forward to have a full grid. And we're gonna see the return of a champion. As Aaron Shaheen will replace Jordan Vandersbeck, who is still suffering on his cold. Pretty interesting that we have, I think since I'm in GTRC, we never had the full layout of Lago Maggiore.
No, I don't really have
the multiple shorter ones. It should be an interesting track, as we have a few top speed sections with long straights, but also a lot of technical parts on the track where maybe cars like the Suzuki Swift might have an advantage.
I think has there been any BOP changes since the update as well? I know they've mentioned performance points, but I don't know whether it's affected the Group 4 cars or...
It wasn't affecting the BOP. We tested for a different league, several cars, and there was no BOP change. It might be a BOP change in the next update, especially on Group 3, but on the last update it was only affected the performance points. What messes up really up if you're testing for a league that is running based on a performance point. So Lucas Wake joined the room. Had his brilliant moment last week at Catalonia Race 2.
First victory this season, well, in his whole WTCC career, so...
And you saw last week what a consistent performance can be resulted in, as he had no problems with the track limit. Like, for example, Kubinski, who was consistently picking up half-second penalties and lost every gain one week on the burn zone.
Here he is, Aaron Shaheen. Brilliant to see him back, even if it's just for the one round of the season.
Yeah, we're lucky that he has no school. Lucky that he has no school. Have to do some preparation for his history exam. But for his good friend Jodo, he's hopping in.
Good to see Stein Van Hart as well. Come back after a week away. Aston Lewis here as well. It's going to be interesting to see what Stein Van Hart can do. I mean, he did have that podium at Red Bull Ring last time he was here. So there is potential there. I think it's just got to be another case of keeping his head clear in a reverse grid race and keeping the gap.
But he also showed that if the track fits the Hyundai a bit, he's definitely on the pace from Tom Holland, who's maybe the quickest privateer. We also have again two FR racing cars with Ridwan Hamza and Jakey. So let's check how many drivers are in here. So we have both FR racing cars, we have both Helix cars, we have Lucas Wake. So
Don't know where Tom Lipscomb is.
Yes, Michael Wolcott is also missing. We have both Nexus cars, we have Aston Lewis, Tom Holland, so the privateers are all there. We checked in.
Yeah, Witchell's not here either.
Oh yes, we just currently have one Team Spirit, or ETT. It would be a shame if we would miss him today.
It would definitely help Ruben Stray in the championship, wouldn't it? Only a point between the two.
I think that's it. We have 11 cars, and it is Witchell, Lipscomb and Wolcott is currently missing. Okay, what are your favorites on this specific track here?
Well, performance-wise, I'm not too sure. It's hard to tell at the moment. Aaron Shaheen's still in the pits. He's not done a lap or anything. You've got Jake, Lucas Wade.
He's not even done any practice.
Just, oh, whoops, forgot the tyres. So that 7 tenths that Tom Holland's got at the front, I would take that with a pinch of salt. I don't think that's going to be representative of everyone.
So let's just check the Discord if we have any notification. If a driver don't gonna be late.
Oh, Soraya has just dropped out.
Maybe his usual connection issue. think we're gonna wait 4 more minutes. Yeah,
Ruben's wheel.
Better now than in the race. We also had it in the race.
So we'll leave it for a couple more minutes. Let's see what else is what's going on our track. Let's have a look around.
Let me check if I have the right settings for the qualifying. Of course not, just 1 minute qualifying. But we have 15. Like race. So I think we're gonna wait 3 more minutes.
Yeah, just a few more. I've had Tom Lipscomb just say he's going to get on quickly. So it's going to make 2 Phantom House cars. Michael's messaging me as well, don't know where he is. Messaged me saying had an incident on the way home regarding a lost dog. So yeah, we have that at least. So we should have Wollacott and Lipscomb joining us as well. So we should see, fingers crossed, a full grid.
So currently waiting for Silvia to connect. So it's Van Hart and Silvia who now have to ready up, and then we're ready to start the qualifying. Oh, they're both ready up. Okay, then we can start the qualifying. Unfortunately, without Jake Witchell. Maybe fingers crossed we'll see him in the second race.
Hopefully, you never know. Let's see who's going to come out first. Is it going to be Tom Holland as always? Oh, there we go. Called it.
So he has definitely no connection issues.
It doesn't look too bad. I mean, the cars aren't jumping as much as they are. I mean, there's a few little, tiny, like, little twitches here and there, but you never know.
Yes, but usually from the spectator side it's worse than from the driver's side.
Yeah.
So let's hope they have less lag. Pretty long lap for GR4 racing. I think the track is almost 6 kilometers. So just 10 laps will also be interesting on strategy. As for example, Tom Holland and the guys in the Suzuki Swift are usually the best on fuel. interesting if they can do an extra lap on such a long track. Here we're gonna see one of the major overtaking spots. The cambered hairpin.
Very easy to get that wrong on exit, isn't it? You can hit the apex very easily, but trying to keep it out the gravel on exit is always a pain. It's a fight uphill. So I think the highest point on the circuit here, and then it drops back down.
So one of the quicker sections here. Now final corner. Let's go on board with Tom Holland on the first flying lap. Also turn 1, really interesting, 90-degree.
And then it spits you out and straight into a hairpin, doesn't it? That's going to be another good little fighting zone.
So the sprint to turn 1 is not that long. Walker joined. So now you have to help me, because I don't know if he will be added automatically to the grid or you have to do a manual grid.
You will have to set it manually and drop him straight to the back. Then if Tom joins, then he'll be behind Michael and so on and so forth. And Stein Van Hart put him to the left side of the circuit. I think he's, dropped a lap in the bin, or I'm not sure.
So Tom Holland looking pretty clean so far on this lap. We also see 240 kilometers per hour top speed even on the Suzuki Swift. So this downhill section definitely pushes your maximum speed. Oh yeah, we have the answer from Whithill. He can't make it. Really unfortunate to have not have you here. So 2:03.9 from Tom Holland, first flying lap. Jakey in the BMW comes close. Kubinski on P3. Lewis P4.
What can Soraya do?
Aaron Shine
Here he
P5.
comes, only P7.
7.5 seconds down. So Stein van Hart. 2:11.
Tom Holland then.
Also Ridwan Hamza really struggling with the car. 2:16 on the first lap.
So Tom Holland on provisional pole, then less than a tenth between him and Jake. And finally found out his surname as well. Jake is Jake Batty, I believe. Message with one, so hopefully his sources are correct.
Some improvement for Lewis as he was in the gravel. Jake Batty slowing down. Tom Holland really close to his personal best, less than a tenth down. So with improvement in the final sector, he could increase the gap.
He really seems to be on it, doesn't Tom Holland? He's really going for it. What can he do this lap? Not enough to beat his
Slight
time,
improvement on the
but
final sector, but not enough.
Kabinski in the wall at the final corner.
Shine the next one to come over the line.
What can the previous champion do? Good enough for pole by 4/10. Impressive stuff there.
Also jumped to P4. Van Hart on his first real flying lap on P7. Hamza on an out lap. Kieran Kevin with the 2.93. Jonah Mills currently finding his own line way around the track. 2.27 is his quickest. I think this should be an improvement. 2.09 is jump to P10, right ahead of Ridwan Hamza. He's now on his first flying lap. Second flying lap. And he's purple.
Van Hart in the way, causing a huge accident there. Oh. I'm not sure what he was doing. I don't know whether Shaheen was up on his own time there, but it could have been quite a storming lap in the bin there.
So let's see sector 2 of Ridwan Hamza. Still purple.
And he's purple, not by much, but fastest as he heads down the hill into the banked hairpin. Gets it spot on, doesn't dip a tyre into the gravel as he makes his way up the hill. Through the S's. Keeps it flat. I think it's very easy to do in these on the racing soft tyres. He's a 10th up now.
10th and a half. Tom Holland going for fuel. It's Lucas Wake.
With that Jakey on provisional pole now by less than a 10th. And Ridwan better his teammate as he goes through the final corner. Kicks up a little bit of grass there. Look at that, 10th, provisional pole by a 10th. This is some brilliant stuff to see.
Top 3. And it seems that the rear-wheel driven cars actually work really good around here. Tom Holland with a 6/10 gap to the pole, the first front-wheel driven car. Jonah Mills improving. Jumped his teammate Kieran Cavern. Both still 3 seconds off Lucas Wake. The gap between Lucas Wake and Stefan Hart only 1,000.
Look at that.
Kubinski a bit struggling here around this track. We haven't seen him a second off. Pace again.
He's struggling through the S's there. And he's just dropped out of the lobby. That's odd. What was his last time?
I mean, we can reverse it in the stream. Before we dropped out.
Let's have a look.
There's Kubinski, 2:04.357. Major advantage from YouTube to Twitch. Jakey will not improve on this lap. Let's see if his teammate Ridwan Hamza can improve. Jakey also in the pits. If the sector times shown in the bottom right are correct, and he made it to the pits, so no improvement for him. Aaron Shine on his out lap. So track limits at Maggiore shouldn't be the biggest problem.
I don't think I've seen any issues personally. But you never know, might be some popping up on stream.
The limits on the outside line are pretty tolerant. You can go really wide. And cutting the inside line on the grass usually not give that big improvement. And Tom Holland ruining this lap. It was purple in sector 1.
I think that's where the front wheel drives shine, isn't it? That first sector, very tight and technical. Stein makes personal best, but whether that's enough for a position, I don't think it is. Only 0.149 on himself.
Currently finishing this road lap. Sergio currently on a 2/10 improvement.
Is it going to be enough to take P5 from Tom Holland?
Big right here on the exit. Stopping the time at a 2:03.6. Jump Tom Holland. Shine, no improvement. But interesting to see that we have currently all the privateers with Tom Holland, Aston Lewis and Stein van Hart on P5, 6 and 7. The gaps are pretty big between all of them. Tom Holland 4/10 ahead of Aston Lewis, who's now improving. You see on my screen, I don't know if it's the same for you, his car is the only car that has really notable lags.
Yeah.
Van Hart with an improvement, not enough to jump Aston Lewis in the standings, but Lewis also on an improvement. Yes, 3/10. But the gap to Tom Holland was more than 4/10.
What can Holland do though? He seems to really push in that Suzuki. Runs slightly wide there. Blasting out the final corner. There we go. What can he do? I don't think it's going to be enough. It's not.
Improvement.
Almost a 10th up on himself, but
Sergio on his final lap. Screaming tires at the exit. Doesn't seem that he's gonna improve a lot. No improvement for him.
No improvement at all. No. There's one of the Phantom S cars running slightly wide there. Lucas Wake.
Shine also a bit too wide here through the final sector.
No improvement from any of the top 4. Well, 5. Can Aston Lewis do anything? That Scirocco, it seems to be bucking like a donkey. So let's see what was on this final, what Kabinski's time was again. And I think it was a 2:04.357, wasn't it?
Yes.
So I'll take a photo of that, and then we'll be able to put him onto the grid. May not be enough for a solid place, but
so everyone ended the hot lap. So
nobody
about
else on the
procedure
lap
now.
side.
So I have to end the race.
Yep. You'll have to change the lobby rules to set by host for the grid. Let me take a quick photo of the standings as well, so we can figure out what time. So what was it? 0:43. So it's going to be good enough for 7th place for Kabinski.
So between Lewis and Van Aert. I think I could have gone a bit quicker on less fuel. So, end race. Change settings again. A quick German lesson here for all the guys. So we can just practice and race. Grid set by host. So I think this is actually the only thing I should change. So oh yeah, I have to wait till everyone has ready up. So we have a front row lockout for FR Bono Racing, followed by 2 Helix cars. I think these 4 guys will be the guys to watch.
Definitely. I mean, 3/10 between the lot. That's over. If they're all fighting, that's going to be very easily made up, isn't it? 3/10.
Yes. So, is everyone ready? Oh, Ridwan Hamza isn't. Now he is.
There you go. So
Apex JK.
it's going to be Jake,
Aaron, then Ruben.
then Soraya, Tom Holland,
Yes.
and then Aston Lewis in the Scirocco,
Dominik
followed by Kabinski, and then Van Hart.
Where's Aston Lewis gone? There he is. So, then after Stein van Hart.
Lucas Wake.
Kieran Kevin and Jonah Mills.
Johnny Mills, and then Kieran Kevin.
Okay.
And then it's going to be Michael and Tom.
Perfect.
Because
let's double check.
Michael's joined first.
So we have pole position for Ridwan Hamza, followed by his teammate Jake Beatty. Aaron Shaheen on P3, Ruben Sayuri on P4. Tom Holland, best privateer on P5, followed by Aston Lewis in the 4V Scirocco. Dominik Kubinski in the first and only Team Spirit car on P7. Stein van Hart P8. Lucas Wake and P9. Jono Mills, followed by his teammate Kieran Kevin, P10 and 11. P12 for Woolacott and 11 for Lipscomb.
There we go. It's going to be a good one, I think. Who's your money on then?
It will be difficult. It's really depending on if the guys in front keeping it clear, doing their own race. I think in the end it might be a duel between Ridwan Hamza and Aaron Shaheen. I think on race duration this might be the quickest. But it's going to be interesting anyways. We saw interesting strategies from Ruben Serrao when he pitted at the first lap, going for the massive undercut. Yes, we are ready to roll.
Two lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Get the engines revving, and away they go. I don't think there's many jump starts, and the two FR Bono racing cars. Ruben Serrao jumps his teammate as they all enter turn 1. Are there going to be any accidents? Let's find out. Bit of contact at the back. Stein Van Hart seems to be the only victim. But for the most part, relatively clean. Ridwan Hamza leads away from Jake Batty.
Cars in the back, a bit off track. It's Kieran Cameron, only dropped to P13. Aaron Shaheen attacked by Aston Lewis.
Contact between the two.
Inside line now for the Scirocco.
He's got to be where he wants to be. The contact. Kabinski hits Holland, hits Shaheen, and he goes round. He goes round, and he's round again. Drops down to 13th. Absolute shame to see, but I wouldn't count him out. He's the only champion that's actually on the grid. Looking at it.
Yeah, replacing
which is
the former only champion on the grid.
But look at that, Ridwan Hamza out under pressure from Batty. He's going to have to go to the right-hand side, or is he going to help his teammate? He is. He drops off the throttle as they head into the biggest overtaking zone on the circuit. And Kabinski and Aston Lewis going side by side. Kabinski takes the position.
And for Kabinski it is important to deliver a good result, because with the not attending of Jake Mitchell, he will be the main opponent for Ruben Serrao after this race for the championship. Aston Lewis still in a duel with the Ford. Aston Lewis not anymore in a duel.
Well, Kabinski runs slightly wide, and Aston Lewis runs even wider.
In the grass, can he catch the car?
Kabinski with a half-second penalty now, and Holland under pressure, putting the pressure on Aston Lewis, takes a 5th position from him. Lewis isn't going to give up though. He's going to have a look at the inside. There he goes.
Oh, big
and punch him, and there's contact, major contact. Aston Lewis goes into the back of him, and John O'Mills takes the 6th position from him.
Lewis completely missed his braking point there. If he actually had one. And is now in a position to take advantage of Kabinski's penalty. John O'Mills currently on a 1.5 second penalty. Might lose a lot of positions here. Aaron Shine also on a 1/2 second penalty. Not the comeback he hoped for. Ridwan Hamza meanwhile 1/2 second clear of his teammate, and both FR racing cars currently escaping from Ruben Serrao. Ruben Serrao also has a 3-second gap here to Kabinski, who was involved into a lot of trouble. And Lewis passing him. Mills on the penalty, dropped down to P9. Getting pressure from Wolacott here. Went wide, hitting the gravel. No chance here for Wolacott to take any advantage of it.
There was a gap, but John O'Mills slams the door in his face as they head into the 4th sector on the track now, the last sector. This is going to be the Scirocco's strong point. And here we go, look at that, the Scirocco all over the back of the Hyundai like a rash.
And Kabinski again sitting on a penalty. Now losing the position against Tom Holland.
Saying that they're going to run side by side down the pit straight, making contact, trading paint.
More top speed on the TT. And Tom Holland is clever enough Yellow flags here.
Yellow
We
flags.
have
Ridwan Hamza is round.
Lost the rear.
Ridwan Hamza. Was there contact between him and his teammate? I don't know, but look at that. Ruben Soraya is all over the back of Jake Batty, and he looks to the inside for the right-hand corner. Very long braking zone. Is Batty going to get the cutback? Let's find out. He is, as they head up the hill now into the S's. As they go side by side into the S's, Soraya's going to have the advantage, but Jakey's going to stick it around the outside. He's not going to make it though, and Soraya goes into the lead.
I think Hamza was far enough ahead that I don't think there was contact between him and his teammate.
His teammate though, Bachi, now going for the inside into the hairpin. Covers off Soraya pretty nicely, but Soraya's going to get the better exit as they head up the hill now. All the talk from the two V8 cars. Soraya getting the run. Can't quite keep it flat.
Brilliant duel here for the lead.
Absolutely scintillating racing. There's bumper to bumper. No contact at all. Great sportsmanship from the two.
But it seems that Jake Batty is a bit quicker in the last sector. Hasn't Lewis first one in the pits.
Seems to be a common factor of all these races, isn't it? Going for the undercut.
Actually don't know how bad the tire wear is here at Maggiore. I think it's pretty bad.
Doesn't look to be too bad between the rear wheel drives and the front wheel drives. I mean, looking at it, it actually seems like Soraya's got worse tyre wear than Tom Holland, believe it or not. Speaking of, he's under pressure now from Ridwan Hamza. As they head into the second sector. Ridwan getting the better exit as he goes opposite lock, and he catches it. He is really pushing that Beamer, isn't he?
Yes, I think sometimes he has a bit problem with the rear. Pretty unusual for a driver on his level.
So all over the back of Holland now, the leader of the Tom Coronel Trophy. Holland puts up half a flight for him, makes him go all the way to the right hand side as they go down the hill into the banked hairpin. Tom Holland has no answer. Ridwan Hamza takes the final podium position.
Lewis stayed on the old rubber. And Soraya is back in front of Jake.
Must have missed that. Ruben Soraya's going into the pits. He's putting on his indicators, and Jakey follows him as well.
So Ridwan Hamza should also go to the pits. Oh, this
I
looked
think
like
he
a
cut the
pit
white line there.
Violation. So Tom Holland,
Which puts
usual
into the lead.
leading when everyone else is going to the pits. But even the Swift looks pretty short on fuel. Aaron Shine also stayed out for another lap. Interesting to see a Lexus running that long.
Look at that though, there's such terrible tyre wear as well on Shaheen's car.
Yeah, maybe
compared
the
to
weight
the
of
two
the
FF
car
cars in front.
has bigger effect on this track. Also Lucas Wake stayed out for another lap. And Jake came out of the pit in front of Ruben Soraya, but just 1.5 seconds, and Soraya is on fresh tires while Jake stayed on the old ones.
Rubens is still not up to temperature. He's run deep there. I'm looking behind Ridwan Hamza now, getting back past Aston Lewis.
Second penalty for Hamza, violating the track limits.
And Aston Lewis gets the run on him, just to put the cherry on the cake for him. Takes 6th position back, which is a net 4th, I believe. Net 3rd, actually, my mistake. Back up to 3rd as well. Shaheen's on a personal best, so he's on quite a strong in-lap. I don't think he's going to get another lap out of that Lexus.
Definitely not.
Big thirsty V8 in the front of it, power on the rear wheels. And he's going to get a penalty for that, cutting the line.
Beatty back in the lead.
There doesn't seem to be... Oh.
Let's see how it goes after the pit stops. I think now everyone is in.
Who's taking tyres? Let's find out. Tom Holland is taking tyres. Lucas Wake. Aaron Shaheen stays out on his old boots.
I don't know if it's that good on this tyre wear on Lexus. So
doesn't seem to be much in it between the top two.
Currently at the back, well, we I think lost Kieran Cavern again, because we have only 12 cars left. Jono Mills, Tom Lipscomb P11, Michael Woolacott. Yeah, maybe we see the lack of practice on both of them cars. Maybe they are getting better over time. Stein Bonhart P9, Lucas Wake P8, Aaron Shaheen is back on P7, now in the hand of Dominik Kubinski, who's on fresh rubber. Tom Holland solid P5, Ridwan Hamza now has to burn his penalty. Should stay in front of Tom Holland. Aston Lewis on P3 for the moment. And then it's Jake Betty and Ruben Serrao who are still in the same second, fighting for the win, I think.
The gap is closing, but if Serrao does get past Batty, I don't think he's the leader at the moment. He's going to fall into the wrath of Aston Lewis. The gap isn't closing, and Aston does have that terrible tyre wear. Kubinski, though, with fresh rubber, so you never know. There might be some solid points from the sole TT on the track at the moment.
Tom Holland must have had a mistake, lost the position against Kubinski, and now has Aaron Shaheen on his diffuser. Really tight line here around the corner, half-second penalty.
Is Shaheen going to have a look at the inside, or is he going to leave it? He has a look, he thinks better of it.
But no chance to beat the Swift on the brakes. And Lipscomb is sideways. Pretty not sure what happened here. Lost the rear of his car. Kind of unusual for front-wheel driven car. Also on a 1 second penalty, maybe he cut the grass and that's the result. Jake Betty now 1.2 seconds clear.
The gap is starting to creep up. I don't know whether Serrao made a mistake.
But Betty is really, really smooth on the tires. Even compared to his teammate Ridwan.
Aston Lewis with a 1 second penalty.
This should give Hamza the opportunity to hop on the podium.
Just seen behind him as well for P6 and 7, Tom Holland and Erin Shaheen side by side. Holland running very wide there, is going to allow Lucas Wake to go around the outside. It's not. There are 3 cars all bunching up behind, and Stein Van Hart as well. Anything goes wrong could fall into his lap here.
But Tom Holland stays on Shaheen's rear.
He's going to be making that Lexus as wide as he can.
Tom Holland
As he moves over to the left to defend from Tom Holland. Is he still going to have a look? He does. He can't quite break late enough. Erin Shaheen sticks it around the outside, and Tom Holland has to stay behind him for another few corners. Look at that now. Look, Stein Van Hart behind him.
Really interesting fight here for P6. Helping Dominik to secure his P5. And you see Erin Shaheen has to go really defensive here on the worn rubber.
Is that going slowly up in front? That's one of the BMWs. I think it's Ridwan Hamza.
Yes, he lost again a lot of time.
Also another car on worn tyres.
And Kubinski will now jump on P3. Aston Lewis has to burn a 1.5 second penalty. Kubinski has to burn his half-second penalty next lap. And Shaheen
has a look round the outside. Wow, what a move. And Hamza says, how about that? And takes the position back from him on the exit. Stays in the middle of the circuit, tries to hold Erin behind him.
This is brilliant racing.
Shaheen defending from Tom Holland. Holland's going to have to wait another few corners, or is he? He makes the switch back, goes for the move. Bit of a tap, Shaheen goes wide. Van Hart has a look, pulls out of it, contact between the two, and it's 3 wide going into the final corner. 3 into 1 never works. Bit of contact. And Shaheen runs wide. And Lucas Wakes slides past him as well.
And meanwhile, Ruben Serrello closed the gap to Jake Betty.
I don't know what to watch. This is absolutely brilliant. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. All within a few seconds of each other.
Yeah, Aston Lewis joined the fight by burning his penalty. A little tap here from Hamza against Aston Lewis.
He goes over to the inside of the circuit to fend off Ridwan. Tom Holland has a look though, and Aston Lewis runs wide. Cuts off Ridwan.
Brilliant catch here from Hamza.
Ridwan, ooh, bit of contact. Aston Lewis has to cut the circuit. And even more contact with Ridwan pushes him even wider. And a penalty, which that isn't fair. I don't think that is not fair at all. Ridwan now defending from Tom Holland and Stein Van Hart.
Shaheen passing Lucas Wake now. So there's fighting all over the place, and the leader changed. Ruben Serrello is back in the front. Well, both are on their way to the final lap. I don't even know where we should watch. And Serrello's tires are not that much better.
Doesn't seem to be much in it, does there, between the two strategies? I think if you have a very calm and relaxed driving style for that first sector, and Ruben Serrello runs slightly deep. What can Batty do as they head into turn 4 now for the final time?
It seemed that the BMW
So
was a bit on the advantage in the final
wide.
2 sectors. And the BMW is just not quick enough. Even as he's losing a bit of time.
I think we're going to have to wait for the back straight, aren't we, going into the hairpin?
Tom Holland on P4. And now we have a three-way fight between Shaheen, Van Hart and Wake for P6. P3 is pretty decided. Kubinski should bring it home.
3-1 into, and Lucas Wake into the barrier. Head on. Gives the position to Michael Woolacott, back up to P9 now. But it's going to be a close one if we go back up to the top 2. Batty has a look. Gets the better exit. He's going to have the run up the hill and the slipstream behind that big hefty boat of a Lexus. Saray running slightly wide. Not the ideal line. But here he comes. Is he going to have a look? Saray moves to the right hand side.
Second to last corner here.
Is he going to have the run? Is he going to take a last lap lunge? He's not. He thinks better of it. But he's going to have the better run. Can he get Soraya to the line? Up to 6 ski, gets so. Right under the wing of him. He's not going to get him. Soraya takes the win in race 1. What a race. What a race.
Pretty secured on P3. Tom Holland, P4, Ripon Hamza, solid recovery with P5. Van Hart, and something happened to Aaron Shaheen. He's on P10. His tires are super dead and he's low on fuel. So Lucas Wake, P8, good P7 from Woolacott. Came out of nowhere. Aston Lewis.
He was in P9 last time we saw him, yeah.
On P, yeah, I think he lost against Shaheen. Yes, Shaheen underfueled a bit. Maybe one of the reasons why he didn't lost that much time on Jakey. Jono Mills on P11. Tom Lipskamp
puts it in the gravel. What a race, though! What a race! Ruben Sorreo barely fending off Jake Batty. And the attempt between them over the line. Kubinski again with a solid P3, keeping the Team Spirit name alive.
So yes, also the team championship close a bit. As 2 solid scores from FR Bono Racing and Helix Racing. Lipskamp now getting over the line on P12. Aston Lewis left the room. So quickly save to replay. So now reverse grid for race 2.
We just grab the.
Okay, Kieran Cameron is still in the lobby. That's a good sign. So we will have him here.
Tom saying his game isn't working, so.
Nexus Racing, keep complaining. I think there was a notification that we have track limits on. So, let's go to race 2. Let me double check all the settings. Grid set by host. Rolling start. No qualifying. I think it's pretty stupid as people complaining about track limits.
Same for everyone, isn't it? Just don't cut the track.
Yes, and even in the announcement before, it was said that keep it in the white lines was one of the announcements, and on Lago Maggiore you're getting penalties for not staying in the white line. So a bit stupid to complain about it, but it is what it is. We go to the grid. So we have Tom, and everyone is readied up yet?
Let's wait for everyone. I think we've got Stein, Van Hart, Lucas Wake to wait for. But I think it's going to be, I think one to watch to race 2. I think it's going to be Aaron Shaheen in the Lexus. He did have the pace. I mean, he dubbed it on the front row of the grid. So, well, I say front row, second row. Sorry. So he's got to be up there, and you know, he's not got much competition. I mean, he's got John O'Mills, Lucas Wake to get past, but Tom Lipscomb, sorry, to get past. So he's got a couple cars, but
so everyone is ready. So let's go. We have Tom Lipscomb on the pole, followed by John O'Mills. Now you're gonna help me.
followed by Aaron Shaheen.
Oh yes. Stein Van Hart, if I remember right.
Lucas Wake. And Michael Woolacott. Then Stein Van Hart.
Okay.
Ridwan Hamza behind him.
Yes.
Tom Holland and Dominik Kubinski.
Jake Betty, Ruben Serrao, and Kevin.
Exactly.
I think everyone is ready. I guess this win is also a huge step for Ruben Serrao. I think Witcher already said that he might even be short on time for the future weeks.
Again, our Lipscomb leads the field around the final corner to start up the second 10-lap race of the evening. It's going to be another belter, I am sure.
Kieran Kevin already backed out. Oh no, Kieran Kevin is on P12. So Lucas Wake making it on P1 around the first corner. No bigger
Shaheen
position
being
gains so
blocked
far.
by John O'Mills. He 6-0's in. John O'Mills defends though. Great racing between the two. Side by side. Shaheen takes P2 from him. I don't think John O'Mills is going to take too kindly to that. He's going to have a look. It doesn't break late enough. Lucas Wake has a look round the outside. Clean racing up front. Brilliant to see. I think the Nexus car has had a couple of livery changes actually. Didn't notice that. But as the rest of the field follows suit behind him. And Kubinski and Holland make contact. Kubinski goes flying off into the barrier.
Losing a lot of positions here. Down to P12.
As we see Woolacott trying to go around the outside of John O'Mills. Don't think it's going to work. And Ridwan Hamza has a look as they go side by side up the hill.
It's already up to P4, P5 now.
And John O'Mills has been spun round by Ridwan.
I think there was contact.
I think, yeah, definitely contact, I think, from Ridwan. But Michael now up to P3. He's no stranger to the podium positions, having scored a couple in the last season in the Sunset Outrun car. There's no Ridwan Hamza takes position from him on the inside. And Tom Lipscomb as well doing a stellar job of keeping Aaron Shaheen in second place. Look at that, just parking the Suzuki Swift. And the Shaheen's going to have to stick with seeing the reflection of his car in the back bumper of that Phantom S car.
Van Hamza now overtook Woolacott. And Shaheen has a look on the inside.
Tom Lipscomb, he can't stick around the outside surely. Shaheen takes the position.
Ridwan Hamza closing the gap to the leaders. And then we have big fighting group here between Van Hart, Wake, Jake Betty, Holland and Sereo.
And look, there's big old scrap, big slipstream fight. Sereo bumps Tom Holland as they all head now into the big hairpin. Three abreast. Tom Holland taking both positions. Is he going to penalty? I think he is. And Batty sticks his nose in, but he's going to have to go the long way around for the next few corners. He's not going to make it stick around the outside of the Swift. You could see that coming from a mile away.
And John O'Mills round again. Kubinski back in contact to Ruben Sereo. No early pit stop so far. Lucas Wake having a look at Beatty. He stays ahead.
Pushing to the grass down. Everyone seems to be going around the outside. Sereo takes P8 from him.
While Hamza is preparing a move on Tom Lipscomb. He should be ahead
Lipscomb
now.
going to have a look at the inside. He's going to have a look. There's contact between the two. Tom Lipscomb makes it work. The Ridwan has to back out of it. Brilliant racing. Absolutely sensational to see Tom Lipscomb battling it out with Ruben Sorreo. He runs slightly wide though.
Might give him a penalty. Also lost the position against Hamza. What brings Stein van Hart and Michael Woolacott back in the podium race.
Straight into the hairpin is Stein van Hart going to have a look. He does. Woolacott knows, and he leaves the space. Stein van Hart kicks up the kitty litter on the outside. He's pushing him around the circuit is Woolacott, and he sticks his nose in for the inside. Can he make the move? The Scirocco is going to have the better turn in, but Stein van Hart sticks it around the outside in the 333 car.
Both of them doing pretty well. They are not losing that much time in the fight. Both still in contact with Tom Lipscomb. And Ridwan Hamza is closing the gap to Aaron Shaheen.
There's a look at the outside. This is going to be an absolutely brilliant one to watch. He tries to get the cut back.
Very different lines here from both of the cars.
Don't tell me he's just gone around the outside. Wow!
Brilliant move from Hamza.
What a
here.
move from... Wow! What a wake-up call for Shaheen.
Yeah, and even a brave move, as I think it was the corner where he lost the car twice in race 1.
I think this race is now going to be Ridwan's to lose. Seems to be the quickest guy on track. He does have fastest lap at 2:04.42.
And Tom Lipscomb went wide, losing...
Ridwan's round! Ridwan's round! He keeps it going. I don't know how. I just saw this big plume of smoke. What on earth? What is going on? Shaheen back up in the lead now with Stein van Hart behind. Michael Woolacott still in P3, having a brilliant fight with Tom Holland.
Tom Holland made the move around.
This is the worst case of commentator's curse I've ever seen in my life this season. Ridwan Hamza, the leader, has dropped it so many times this season.
Yeah, he has the pace on the BMW. And I actually don't know if the car maybe got a bit worse on handling after the update.
There's a few cars now slide into the pit. Stein van Hart, Michael Woolacott, Kabinski.
Also Jake Betty. Shine twitchy exit out of turn 1.
So are we going to see everyone taking on fresh rubber now, or are some people going to brave it out? I think the rear-wheel drives could get away with it for the whole race, but like we saw Aston Lewis last time, it just completely burnt through his tyres and dropped off on the last lap.
But also Aaron Shaheen's tyres are pretty screwed after.
They don't look that good, do they? They're worse than Tom Holland's. I can't see how. I can't figure it out.
Yeah, maybe it is part of the new physics update, because the Swift is under a ton of weight, and Shine has 50% more weight on the car. But we also saw Jake Betty with a pretty solid tire wear in race 1, and the BMW is, I think, just 50 kilogram lighter than the Lexus on BUP, so the difference is not too big.
for this, though. Lucas Wake is over the back of Ruben Serrao, the championship leader at the moment. They're both on the
Both are
gravel.
wide.
And Lucas Wake takes a position. I should just stop commentating at this point. As soon as I say anything, they just go off. Their car just disintegrates, just explodes, ends up in the gravel, upside down.
I think John O'Mills ended his race, parking in the pits. So 10 cars left on track.
Shaheen is going to get a 3-second for that, I reckon. Hamza hits the wall. No, just some lag. I'm just watching everyone pile into the pit wall. It's a very short pit lane though.
The pit entry is on spectating a bit bugged, as also Hamza hasn't picked up a penalty after his line without a penalty. Fresh rubber. Tom Holland now in P2. Ridwan Hamza sideways again on the cold tires.
Look how close this is. Just watching Shaheen, and you could see most of the rest of the grid in the back of the photo. The real question now, who's going to take P2? Is it going to be Stein van Hart or Tom Holland? The two privateers.
Jake Betty here in the fight with Woolacott. Battle for P6.
Sticks his nose in, but there's not enough room for the girthy BMW. Back up to P2 and 3 though. Stein van Hart and Tom Holland side by side into the hairpin. Is Holland going to have a look around the outside? He does. Keeps it there.
And they are gaining on Aaron Shaheen.
Ooh.
Gap
Now this is going to be an interesting one. Everyone's on fresh tyres. There's not going to be any strategies in this last race, I don't think. Tom Holland, though, he's gained 3/10 in a sector.
He's currently a lot quicker than Aaron Shaheen.
I'm not going to say anything because I know what happens every time I say something.
Yeah, but 8/10 on the last lap. Tom Holland also the fastest lap.
Don't say anything.
You're a curse, not me. Kubinski again on a solid performance. And I think in this race a bit more comfortable with the track limits.
Only the one penalty this time rather than the 100 last time at Barcelona.
And Ridwan Hamza is round again and in the barrier again.
Again, his teammate has to swerve to avoid him. Serrao having a very quiet race, I will admit. I've just seen him zoom past. I'm not sure what's happened with him, but he's not setting the world alight, is he?
And I think that is some disconnect from Hamza. Because he just rolled into the barrier. Now he's back on track on P10. Shine found the pace again, gap already 3 seconds. And Tom Holland is shaking off Stein van Hart. Yeah, wheeled out from Ridwan Hamza. I think.
We see that quite a lot, don't we? People's wheels disconnecting. It's never happened to me personally when I've been racing, but I don't know what type of... I think Red One uses a direct drive, if I recall correctly. A Fanatec? I don't know.
Yeah, but Stereo is on a Logitech. Hamza is on a Fanatec. So this maybe not. I know that Fanatec had issues in the early stages of the game.
Five and a half seconds between the top four as we take the 8th lap of the race.
And I think it's more sector by sector. Just now the gap is 2.5 seconds between Shine and Holland.
I think that 4th sector and the first sector is definitely the better sectors for the front wheel drive cars, but
Holland is also quick. Purple by a 10th. Setting fastest lap after setters lap. We had a 2:04.1, now we have a 2:03.9. Maybe we get an even quicker run now. But also a solid performance from Stijn van Hart.
P3 as well, he is keeping up with Tom Holland.
And I think after Aston Lewis dropped out and Ashby is not attending tonight, Tom Holland having a huge step to be the first winner of the Tom Coronel Trophy. Was already leading, and if he can bring this P2 home, Woolacott at the moment under pressure from Jake Beatty.
I've always wondered what Woolacott might be able to do if he did actually practice for once. Slugging it out with the front row qualifier from race 1 with zero practice at all, and now Batty is going to have a look around the outside. I'm going to go bumper to bumper as they head over the start-finish straight to start the 9th lap.
Now
He
inside
sticks
line
it around the outside.
Batty.
Woolacott tried to shut the door on him, but he already had more than his foot in it and just took it. Is Woolacott going to sling it around the outside?
And also Lucas Wake is trying to get involved into this fight for P5.
Woolacott with a better exit. He's going to have a look. As they're headed to turn 6 now. He tries to stick it around the outside, and he does to an extent, but Michael's got the run up the hill.
Through this open door.
Can he hold it around the outside of Jake? I don't think he can, and there's contact, and Jake has been spun round. Lucas Wake puts him in the barrier. Puts a huge dent in the point score for FL Bono Racing tonight.
So
Could have been on for
again,
a stellar race
3
there,
seconds
but
ahead, and Shine with the fastest lap now. Van Hart losing the contact to P2. Maybe has to care more about to defend this podium.
could it have been a penalty perhaps? I don't know. It's going to be again another fight on the last lap.
Also Woolacott and Wake. Those trying to get P5. Wake inside line, brilliant maneuver here.
Woolacott has a look, barely avoids the pit wall. They're almost 130 miles an hour as they head into the first corner for the final time. Woolacott has a late lunge. Leaves just about enough space for that tiny little Suzuki Swift. Is he going to get the cutback? He's not going to get a cutback, but he's going to get the better run as they head into turn 3. Not enough. Lucas Wake again sticks it in front of him. And he runs wide. Willicott gets the cutback here. They go side by side.
The inside line.
As they head into the second section, is Lucas Wake going to have a look? He is. Ooh. And he makes it.
I think it's the second or third position switch here between both of them in the final lap.
Michael's going to have the slipstream though, isn't he? Lucas Wake runs slightly wide. As they head into the long back straight. 140 miles an hour now, these tiny little cars. Lucas sticks to the inside. Is Michael going to have to go the long way round? Or is he going to get another cutback?
Better
He's
exit
got the
for the
better
Scirocco.
exit. As they head up the hill, he's going to have the inside for the first corner, but Lucas is going to have the inside for the second. It's not enough though. Michael Willicott takes 5th place from him. I don't want to look away at this one, but I think we're going to have to. Aaron Shahin.
Yes, Aaron Shahin on his way to a deserved win. Brilliant podium for Tom Holland, P2.
Stein Van Hart again, P3.
Ahead of Dominik Kubinski, P4.
Lucas Wake has a look, it's not enough. A day late and a dollar short. Michael Willicott sticks ahead of him as they head round the final quarter. Willicott 5th position.
But an awesome fight from both of them here in the final stages of the race. Maybe we see a penalty after the incident with Jake Betty. Good P7. Sereo after the win with P8.
It's what's so brilliant about this league, isn't it? You know, you could have the first race, absolutely sensational fight at the front, and then, you know, those same two drivers finish 7th and 8th in the next race. It just flips everything on its head.
We saw the trouble Hamza had where he finished P10. Dead wheel. Super unlucky. I think he was the only one to really set pressure on Aaron Shahin in this race.
Again, being set back by technical difficulties though. Aaron Shahin makes it a second Halex win of the night. I bet you're going to be happy about that, aren't you?
I would lie if I would say no. First of all, I'm happy that the lobbies looked way better than in the weeks before.
Oh god, yeah. Brilliant racing tonight, isn't it?
We had absolute great battles. I think Maggiore was definitely the right pick to have it in the calendar. We had brilliant racing, 3-way fights, even 5-way fights. And it was absolutely great racing. It was a shame that Witchell wasn't there tonight.
No, I think he could have really put up a solid fight to Soraya and Shahin, but yeah.
Again, very impressed from Tom Holland.
Very impressive, yeah. Still that elusive win though. So he can't take a victory. He hasn't taken one since Willow Springs last season, and again a chaotic race, but...
Well, Sereo also had wheel issues, you can read in the chat. I think that was the reason why he lost so much time. It was absolute brilliant fighting all over the place. We saw a few incidents with the non-braking point of Aston Lewis in race 1, and I think it was Hamza with Jono Mills, and I think who was it with Hamza? Oh, no, Hamza's wheel died. It was Jakey with Willicott awake, one of the 3-way fight. But I think that was all I've seen today. Everything else was just touring car racing at its best. Maybe the best race we had this season.
A bit of bumping here and there, give and take, isn't it? Definitely, it's a brilliant one. It's just a shame that Aston Lewis has decided to drop out, but I don't think there's going to be a shortage of drivers. I think we need to stop saying what's happening on track and not have people crashing out from the lead all the time.
Yes, but how should we commentate a race without telling what's happening on track?
We have unnamed driver in first battling unnamed driver in second, who is
Yeah,
a
but
gap
there is the
behind
position.
him.
There is the position. The game will realize. I think also the spins will maybe resulted in the wheel issues for Ridwan Hamza. But it was great racing we saw tonight. Two different winners, I think two complete different podiums.
I believe so, yes.
No one had a double podium.
And like I said, the whole grid was just put on its head, wasn't it? With the 1 and 2 from race 1 in 8th and 7th.
Yes, I think they could have. I think they wouldn't have been competitive for the win. Maybe not even for the podium. I think Jake crashed out in the fight for P5. Pretty late in the race.
Definitely, we did see flashes as well. John O'Mills at the start of the second race, he did put up a solid fight. There wasn't any contact, any foul play.
Yes,
which
really,
was very
really
nice
solid
to see.
performance. I think he was just unlucky then the exit of the one corner where Ridwan Hamza tapped his rear.
I think it was a domino effect there, wasn't it? I think they were discussing in the driver's chat. I don't know what exactly happened, but I'm going to have to look into it, aren't I? But definitely an overall improvement this week from the last one. And I don't know if it's going to be much cleaner at Brands Hatch Indy next week, because that's
Really
going to be absolute chaos.
Tight track, short track, and again a track where you can get in trouble with an early pit stop. Maybe after a mistake.
But I think we're going to see the front wheel drive cars. They're going to have a real good fight for the win. I think this track was definitely a rear wheel drive circuit, but the Brands Hatch Indy is tight, technical, heavy braking zones. So the short wheelbase front wheel drive cars are going to have the advantage, I reckon.
I already thought it would be tonight a big advantage for the front wheel driven cars, as of course there are a few straights, but we saw the Swift was almost on the top speed of the V8 cars. And overall I think this track pretty equalized any advantage of the cars. We saw front wheel driven cars with better tire wear than rear wheel driven cars. And also we saw Tom Holland almost at the same pace like the race winner Aaron Shine for the whole race. So yes, really looking forward to next week. And now we go back to the cooking GTRC Discord. So have a good night, guys. Definitely.